Hey, I mean,
That's what you do with a girl. Lead on. Dude, I love it. I can't do that. I can do it.
I'll get Bennett or one of them or.
We've done it many times.
Let's call the meeting to order. Invocation by Mr. Patrick Abear.
Name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Lord, we ask you to come upon us tonight and watch over this meeting and guide our thoughts and actions. To protect our thoughts and that we do what's best for our parish and our communities. We ask this in Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
I get a volunteer for the pledge of allegiance.
I'll do it.
All right, Mr. Adams.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Miss Lisa.
Thank you, ma'am. Reverend Matthews, he's absent. Mr. Ina, he's absent. Mr. Orlander,
Here.
Mr. Ramsey,
Here.
Mr. Rolfe, he's absent. Mr. Abear,
Present.
Mr. Bennett,
Here.
Mr. Duhon,
Here.
Mr. Adams,
Here.
Mrs. Hidalgo,
Present.
and Dr. Rink.
Present.
You have a quorum present, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I have a reading of the minutes from the previous meeting?
Madam Chair, I move that we dispense with the reading and accept as written.
I got a motion by Mr. Olander. Second by Mr. Abear. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do you have any public comment?
Can I ask a question on public comment? It's actually about the finance committee meeting. Do anybody, do we have the next one scheduled? Would that be up to Councilman Matthews? At least there's nothing on the book so far though.
No, sir.
Okay, I'll send an email out tomorrow. All right, thank you.
I have something. This Saturday gonna be Louisiana State Doubles Horseshoe Tournament at Kipper Williams Park. It begins at 8:30. Anybody interested? Come on out.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I got one more thing too. Let me see. Let me look it up. I'm at the cover this. I'm sorry. No, it's Juneteenth bike ride on June 18th of this year. It's a bike ride in Morgan City. And I'll read it off of Facebook. It says, we're looking forward to packing the streets of Morgan City with people from all walks of life come together to learn and celebrate with us. It's a tour of Morgan City, actually all through Morgan City to cover and show some of the old town buildings. I think a couple of funeral homes, both stores, the old Sumter Williams School, and some whole history about the culture in Morgan City. Once again, that's on the June 18th, starts at 8 o'clock, and it says you can ride your bicycle, of course, and it starts at Jacket Elementary School and ends at Jimmy Johnson Memorial Park. I had that backwards. It says free food, drinks, community fun, explore African-American history in Morgan City, which is a great event. We attended it last year. Very, very interesting. Thank you.
Also, Monday night, they had a deal at Patterson. I'd like to thank Mayor Rodney Grogan and the staff for putting that function together. Talk about the violence and things occurring and all the mass. It was a great experience, and they have a few more events coming up over the next, I think, 5 to 6 weeks.
It'll be published on social media, so if anybody would like to attend, it's open to the public. Yes, ma'am. We know who you are, Miss Alfreda, but for the record, can you state your name and your address?
Okay, I'm Alfreda Edwards and I reside at 307 Talbot Street here in Franklin. And I'm just here, I know announcements were made and I know Mr. Ina is not here tonight. But to commemorate Juneteenth. There is, and I think it was announced, but I just wanted to reiterate that Juneteenth here in Franklin will be the 17th and the 18th. And it's going to be out here on Tash Drive, the Bayou, where it was last year. Now, I do believe also that there will be a kickoff celebration on Thursday, the 16th at the Tash Theater. So the public is invited to come out and help with the commemoration of this Juneteenth event. And Friday, I think things are going to be like Friday night, bands and other vendors. And Saturday, it's going to be an all-day thing where there's going to be health tent or health area where I know Tash Action Clinic is helping to coordinate that. And there's going to be other vendors, and they're going to be located in the Blevins building. But I know I'm not on a committee or anything, but I can speak to say to the community to come out. Last year was a wonderful time. It was the first time, and I truly enjoyed it, and so did others. So the parish council members, this is your parish. We're having it in the Blevins building, which is the parish building there. So I would love to see, I'll be out there with a table with some information to see some of you guys come out and just help support this. I have one other question, and I might be behind time on this, but I know redistricting is still going. There has not been any final for the parish redistricting. Is there any time frame or times where they're going to meet, or the what I want to say? The guideline, not guidelines, but the way that it's going to go, because I think it has to be completed by December 31st. And it has to come before the citizens of St. Mary Parish. So we don't have a
No, Ms.
a date.
Alfreda, Mr. Abear has called a special meeting for Monday. I've called a special meeting for Wednesday to discuss the current maps that are being presented, which we would appreciate and allow public opinion.
Okay.
But they both have been called, both of those
Okay.
meetings.
So is this
Monday and Wednesday at 6
Monday?
o'clock.
at 6 o'clock here.
Correct.
Okay, good, because I just hadn't heard anything advertised, but.
Yes,
again,
ma'am.
Thank you for listening. to me.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other public comment?
At this time, I'd like to make a motion for us to go into executive session.
Have to invite Mr. Bo.
I need to invite Mr. Bo. And Mr. Eric.
I got a motion by Mr. Dalgo.
She has an update of it.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I got a second by Mr. Abear. All in favor? Any opposed? It'll be quick.
They cut the grass your last problem, your least of your problem.
by Mr. Bennett. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, report from Mr. Hannah.
Madam Chair, I do not have a report at this time.
Thank you, sir. Report from Mr. LaGrange.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the council. It's just minor report informational. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Oh, I want to thank you for having those roads ready, the side of the roads ready to the meeting. Still got a little bit more.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I'll pass it on. Thank you.
Also, Bo, I want to thank y'all for the work y'all been doing at the Russo's boat ramp, with keeping it clean with ignorant people littering and dumping stuff they shouldn't. They don't get the hint. Now we got them fixed up. We've ticketed 1 out of 2 persons that did some illegal dumping, which y'all did at the boat ramp for us, keeping it clean and putting some extra cameras and really gonna be a big help to satisfy the public. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Other questions for Mr. LaGrange? Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Bo.
Yes, ma'am.
Public hearing report, May 25th, 2022.
I move we accept.
I got a motion by Mr. Adams to accept as written,
Second.
second by Mr. Abear. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Report of meetings other than council meetings. I just want to reiterate something about the comment that Mr. Adams made about those public forums that are happening. From what I'm hearing, there's a lot of money coming down from the feds, Mr. Bo, for grant money as far as public safety and everything. Is there anything that we can get a list of what we might potentially reach for funding to try and initiate some programs to help with this problem?
Sure, I'll reach out and see what I can find out for you.
Okay, thank you, sir. No introduction of ordinances, resolution, 13A, Ms. Lisa.
Thank you, ma'am. 13A is a resolution of respect and memory of Mrs. Sherry Broussard Dorsey.
I'll make the
Um,
motion.
Okay,
Madam Chair, if you don't mind, since Reverend and Jay are neither here, I'll go ahead and read the
okay.
resolution.
Yep, you're gonna second my
moved.
motion then?
Second by the council.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if this is postponed.
The family just
Discussion?
wanted to take care of it,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, they want to take care of it tonight.
Whereas the Lord Almighty in his future infinite mercy and goodness has seen fit to remove from our midst Mrs. Sherry Broussard Dorsey. And whereas Mrs. Dorsey was a lifelong resident of St. Mary Parish who worked for the St. Mary Parish Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 1 for 33 years before retiring in May of 2016. And whereas Mrs. Dorsey was a loving and devoted wife, mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, and friend who always took care of everyone. And whereas Mrs. Dorsey was a member of the Good Samaritan Group of Sacred Heart Church and enjoyed playing Pokino, gardening, cooking, baking, and whereas the members of the St. Mary Parish Council wish to acknowledge publicly their sorrow and sympathy to the family of Mrs. Dorsey. And whereas the St. Mary Parish Council hopes that her family will find comfort in the thought that their grief and sorrow are shared by their friends. Now therefore be it resolved that the St. Mary Parish Council, through the unanimous adoption of this resolution, that they solemnly deliver it with sincere condolences, sympathy, and understanding during this time of grief. Adopted and approved by the St. Mary Parish Council in regular session on the 8th day of June, 2022.
Any other discussion or comments? Lisa, roll call.
Thank you, madam. Reverend Matthews, he's absent. Mr. Ina, he's absent. Mr. Orlander,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramsey,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rolfe, he's absent. Mr. Abear,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bennett,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Duhorn,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Adams,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Hidalgo,
Yes, ma'am.
and Dr. Rink.
Yes, ma'am.
We have 8 yeas and 3 absents, and the resolution carries. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Nobody has an objection. I'll have Miss Lisa read B and C into the record together.
Thank you, ma'am. A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative agreement between LSU Ag Center and St. Mary Parish government relative to support and administer Louisiana cooperative units off campus. And C is a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute an agreement with Cypress Swamp Retriever Hunt Club relative to the use of a portion of the property belonging to the parish located at Kirsch Clausen Road in Patterson, Louisiana.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move on 13B and C.
Got a motion by Mr. Olander,
Second.
second by Mr. Dalgo. Any discussion? Oh, Ms. Lisa?
Thank you, ma'am. 13B and C, Mr. Ina, he's absent. Mr. Orlander,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramsey.
Abstain.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rolfe, he's absent. Mr. Abear,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bennett,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Duhon,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Adams.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Adalgo,
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rink, and Reverend Matthews, he's absent. We have 7 yeas, 1 abstain, and 3 absents, and the resolutions carry. Thank you.
It's just an update to the council as to progress of work. We'll retain for using executive session again next time should we need to.
Mhm.
No, we're going to executive session
Okay.
on next meeting.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next we have appointments to the following boards and commissions. The Elizabeth B. Davis Memorial Park Advisory Committee in Four Corners has 5 vacancies. We have Eva D. Rollins, present member, Eric Randall, and Juanita Marie Hines.
Madam Chair, I move that we go ahead and table this until Reverend Matthews can make the meeting since it's his picks. He didn't really reach out to anyone to give us an idea of who he wanted. So if you wouldn't mind, I move that we table it to the next meeting.
Got a motion by Mr. Olander, a second by Mr. Abear.
Discussion? Yep. All in favor? Well, no
Aye.
discussion because it's a tabling. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. B, Mr. Scott Blanchard has written to resign effectively immediately May 21, 2022 from the Board of Commissioners for the Water and Sewer Commission number 5. I will thank him for his service and I will advertise the vacancy.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I have something. This agenda, I have one question. I don't know if I'm out of line, but I want to ask this. Since we have a special session meeting coming Monday and we got one Wednesday, the problem concerns me is that when it came out that we have a first special session, special meeting Wednesday, I had plans that day. I changed my plans to attend that meeting. Now I'm being told we're going to have a meeting, also a special meeting Monday. And I might be out of line if I ask him, but can I ask the councilmen and women who will be here Wednesday? So I'll make sure we have a quorum because I don't want to be out of town Monday since I changed my plans once and then I can't make it. And I'm here Wednesday and we don't get 6 people to show up Wednesday. We won't have a quorum and then my voice in my district won't be heard. Can I ask, are y'all plan on making it Wednesday?
I won't be here.
You can?
I can.
Okay, that's a quorum. That's what I need to thank you. No disrespect. I just want to make sure that we have a quorum for Wednesday where I can voice my
Madam
opinion
Chair,
for my
on
district.
that, on
Thank
that
you.
thing that came out today about that, it says discussion and action.
Yes, sir.
What kind of action are they talking about?
Mr. Eric can explain that, I believe. Mr. Eric,
If I can
any
explain,
action, he said any action would be,
all I can tell you is that all of you know, or believe that district can require an ordinance. Ordinance can't be just put on the agenda and voted on. It has to be introduced as an ordinance, laid over for 20 days, and then voted on. Or Monday does not include an ordinance to change the district. So a vote, whatever vote is taken will not be to adopt a particular set of plans. It's not going to be that. What it is, I have no idea, but it's not going to be that. That requires an ordinance.
Anybody have any other questions about these meetings? Yes.
Talking to Mr. Abear, and I understand the necessity he felt to call. My question is, what is the real purpose?
So according to the contract that we have with South Central Planning, there has to be a form, and I guess it depends on how you interpret it, but from my discussion with Mr. Belanger, there has to be a formal introduction of these 3 plans that they created so that we can grow from those 3 plans to modify how we want, but it has to be formally introduced to the public and to the council or entirety, depending on how you interpret the way that that's written. But it actually, the purpose of it is to introduce it to the public so that it is now published and the public can start viewing and the public can start, contacting their council members should they require or should they request any other changes from what's already drawn on the maps. So the whole purpose is so we follow the plan as outlined with the contract from South Central Planning.
I spoke to Mr. Boulanger. He actually called me about this and asked me where we were going with this, because we hired them to draw 3 plans. They were never asked to draw up an alternative number. Can we even consider
Yes.
a different alternative? Well, I don't know. And you haven't heard my question. Not sure we can even consider another alternative till we approve or we consider alternatives.
So that's the whole
I
purpose.
think we would
of
have to go ahead, have a meeting, approve 1,
No,
2,
That's not how the
or
process works.
reject all of them,
Correct.
and then come back with other alternatives. I don't think, we can't just come up and just because we're on a whim, decide, well, we want some more alternatives to look at.
Yeah, well, we're not going to discuss it in detail because it's not an agenda item, but based on the way that this is redistrict, there are 9 permeations of what's currently presented to us as maps because the Calumet Cut is dividing us into a west and an east side of the parish.
Always has.
But it hasn't in our districts until now because of population size. So essentially, the 3 that they're presenting to us, there really are 9 permeations of that map and can be whatever combinations, which Mr. Belanger has said to every one of us that have gone over to South Central Planning to have discussions with them. So the purpose of that meeting is to introduce those 3 and see if we want to combine any particular ones or if we want to scrap them all and start over. So yeah, we don't have to accept or reject essentially any of them. They just have to be introduced to the public as a starting ground of where we might want to go from and what we might want to agree to start from as a map and then grow from there.
So can any parish councilman or woman go to South Central Planning and speak with Mr. Boulanger, someone else over there and said, hey, I want another plan. I want an alternative 5, 6, and 7.
They encouraging that.
There,
Yes.
yes,
Yes, they are.
But
Yes.
they are. Yeah, I went.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to the guy at length, they're not. And he's not encouraging alternative number 4. They were hired to do 3, they did 3.
Well,
Pretty much
well,
where it
we'll let
stands.
Mr. Belanger speak on to what other alternatives and stuff, but I know those of us,
Here at the meeting?
he will be at both Monday and Wednesday meetings because I spoke with him already. From my discussion with him, he's encouraging every council member that potentially has some input to go to South Central Planning and kind of sit down with the planner and see if something that you might want as an alternative will actually fit their requirements according to the mapping. So, but I'll let him speak to that because I don't want to speak on his regards. So when he is here Monday and Wednesday, he can answer those questions.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
If we are having a meeting on Monday and it's basically the same meeting as Wednesday, what is the purpose of having one on Monday and one on Wednesday?
Well, that's
Cover
that's a
everything
very
on
good
Monday,
question.
hopefully.
That's a very good question, but we now have a bunch of council members that couldn't be there on Monday because I called the Wednesday meeting of quite a few weeks ago.
And I actually changed my plans to make it Wednesday. My original plans was Monday. 2 weeks ago when this came out, so I changed from the Wednesday to make it. Now I'm being told it's back Monday. So, it's
So
like,
that's why we kept both meetings on to
It's
make sure.
extremely hard in the summer months. When you look at the calendar of when our meetings are, most people plan their vacations or time off according to those set meetings. And then when you call a special meeting, it kind of throws, something out of whack. So.
Totally understand, but
and
it's
that
no
was the only
different.
reason for
Yeah.
calling one on Monday because we couldn't make the one on Wednesday. So-
Well, but I
But I'm
mean,
just
it's the,
wondering
it's
why
the
we
flip
still having
side
two.
for other
Hopefully
council.
everyone can make it on Monday.
It's a flip side for other council members, you know, that some can't make it
Well-
on Monday and can make it on Wednesday. So
Okay.
that was the reason for both being called and both still being on the schedule.
Well, Madam Chair, if there's no further business,
Yes, sir.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay, I got a motion by Mr. Olander, a second by Mr. Dalgo. Any discussion? All in favor? Any